Oh, we learned this week that apparently you can just have things that are not available in this time period and it's a-okay because reasons.
You're a machine. Ish.
That's all the reason you need, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Jared Now Watch Inuyasha is episode 107. I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Al and Lady
Hello.
We are discussing season 4, episode 23 or episode 105, entitled The Ghastly Steel Machine. Very spooky.
So
Uh,
spooky.
they just recap. They didn't even recap. They just play basically the end of the last week's episode for the beginning, like 3 to 4 minutes of this week's episode.
It was super weird.
Just, in case you had forgotten what had happened at the end of last week's episode, we got it all for you this week. Here you go. It's all here for you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, basically Inuyasha and the gang are still trying to find a place to store Kagome, Roku, and Sango because they're still incapacitated by the poison from last week.
Poison.
Poison.
It's a song.
Yes, Jakotsu's still sad because they can't go after Inuyasha. Renkotsu's like, you have another mission. Go do that. We got our other boy going to take care of them. So that's all happening. And yeah, that's basically the plot of this episode is that Inuyasha and the gang got to find a place for the others, and then this big robot Frankenstein's monster looking feller Ginkotsu shows up and is like, I can do all this fun things. Look at all my fun toys I have. I'm going to chop you up, Inuyasha.
Also, I'm gonna grab Kirara like a claw toy.
And fling you into a wall.
Ouch.
Ouchie. Yeah. Ginkotsu's got a whole thing where he shoots saw blades at people, which is again not a thing that would happen in this time period.
No, I didn't really have saw blades then.
Also can shoot artillery from like a cannon on its back that can also break apart into cluster bombs essentially. Another thing that was not a thing in this time period.
Well, for the record, I checked the trivia for Genkotsu, and it says he's one of the few characters in the series to possess cannons and gunpowder, which are Western weapons and had only just been introduced in the feudal era.
I mean, yes, that is true, but this kind of bomb that he's using definitely not
No,
available at this time
definitely
period.
not available.
Like if he was just using like cannonballs or something, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's fair.
Sure, sure.
Totally, I could buy that,
No, he's
but
not.
definitely not. But yeah,
This man is just like a walking military on its own.
mm-hmm.
But like a very modern military and not a feudal era military.
So Inuyasha's having a bit of a struggle with this. Um, he has Shippo and Kirara.
Also gets all tied up at one
He
point.
does get tied up at one point. It's very rude. He sends
Uh-huh.
Shippo and Kirara off to like hide Kagome, Roku, and Sango somewhere, and they go and find a temple, which conveniently is the one that Renkotsu is at. So Renkotsu basically is like, oh, well, you got poison, huh? That sucks. Here, have this cool incense that's going to definitely not do anything bad to you. Honk shoe, honk shoe. And Kagome is like, oh no, he has a jewel shard in his neck. That's not good. This guy's
He's part of the band of
he's part of the
seven.
band of seven. Shippo, do something. Oh no, I can't speak conveniently now. Oh no.
Shippo, why can't you see? Because Shippo's just a little
He's
guy
just a
and
little guy.
he can't see jewel shards. How is he supposed to know? He's
It's
just
a
a little
real
guy.
bummer.
He's panicking.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they're all honk shoeing
They're all
now.
honk shoeing. Yeah, Inuyasha gets tied up because of the Saw Blades now have metal strings that can go out everywhere, and it ties up Inuyasha and the Tetsaiga, and then he eventually just like makes it small and then charges at him and then hits him with the wind scar from above and buries him underground. Definitely going to stay there forever. Not going to come back at any point. Nope, no siree.
Nope. Also, just a side mention, there's like this whole bit with Miyoga flying up
Yes,
north to
yes.
find them.
Ah,
And he's
Lord
like,
Inuyasha, where'd you all go up so north? Oh man, you left without me. This is a real bummer. I bet you're off at a hot spring without me and enjoying the fun of a hot spring. And I'm here on a bird trying to find you all. This is not fair.
and then we get like a weird advertisement for hot springs and the value of hot springs in the middle of it.
Which is funny because like it's Kagome and Sango sitting there and Kirara's in the middle just like
And the boys are in their own hot spring, just having a good time.
Why did they put the cat in the hot spring?
I mean, your guess is as good as mine. Why did Shippo have a floaty?
Because he's a little guy. He would drown.
Then don't put the little guy in the hot
Well, that's
spring.
why they got him a floaty.
Where they? I mean, I was gonna say where they get him floaty. I know where they got him floaty because Kagome gives no shits about bringing things from the future into this time period and causing time paradoxes. But yeah, Kirara's like, "What the? Why am I wet? Why am I wet? This
It's hot
sucks."
and I'm wet. I don't like this.
Also, Kirara does a very cat-like thing at one point, and she's like licking the heck out of Sango's hair.
It's pretty funny, yeah. But yeah, that's essentially how we end this episode with Inuyasha trying to go find everyone after he thinks he disposes of Ginkotsu. And
Mm-hmm.
Rinkotsu's like, hey, 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 hey. I've got them where I want them. Hey, 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 hey. And that's how we end this episode. Not a whole lot happened. Kind of like most of
Mm-mm.
this was taken up by the fight, but even then it was just kind of like, just weird fight.
It's a weird fight.
Yeah, we got no notes or trivia this week. So we'll talk about how next week we will be discussing episode 106 titled Kagome, Moroku, and Songo Desperate Situation. Because they are fighting for their lives. This one also has a very small preview or summary, but 2 images for it. So there you go.
Oh
And
wow.
no notes or trivia.
Oh heck.
Oh, heck indeed. So yeah, we'll discuss that next time, but if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sac.cool, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Ann Ladium, go to annladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup, follow us on Blue Sky at seasonalanimecheckup.com, and you can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, a critical analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, Hot Tubs, and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. So join us next week as we get into a desperate situation.